Stronger. More than power. Power. Never. Ever. After work is over. Work it. Make it. Do it. Makes us harder. Better. Faster. Stronger. Work it harder. Make it better. Do it faster. Makes us stronger.
All right, if you are part of the Leadership Academy breakout, do me a favor, take 60 seconds, stand up, stretch, get some blood flowing, get up from your seat. We're not going to take an official break, so I want to make sure that you guys are engaged because this is it. Move around, right? Marley, little roller coaster, that's great. Okay, you want to do that? Ah. Very nice. Welcome, welcome. Andrew, what'd you say?
The name is next.
That's right. All right. Okay, folks, welcome. And if you want to grab your quick notes out, man, this never gets old. It never gets old to do this part after a conference for champions. I see smiles ear to ear. Don't think I didn't see two of you crying. I was going to spotlight you just to show the pure emotion, but I saw two of you crying. One guy, one girl, by the way. So don't think it's, oh, the girls. No, I saw you, big guy, with the emotions, all the feels. I can see why. Hey, everyone, I just want to say this is exciting. So before we start, let me just put my slide up here. What I want to take the time to do is really introduce you to Leadership Academy. And I first want to start off by saying welcome to TLA. And, for all the official acceptances, for some of you, it was kind of a given. You've been consistent this whole time. For some of you, you've had to really work to get on the radar and stay on the radar. And I think, and I can speak on behalf of Coast, where literally your decision was made last night in the wee hours of the evening or before 8:30 a.m. this morning. And I just think there's something so special about people working hard to earn their spot and to do it in such dramatic fashion. So congratulations to all of our acceptances. I want to take the time to mention our late acceptances. And I think this is important. Here's why, because, and I'll put the slides up later, there are several people who did not get accepted officially, okay, into Leadership Academy. And I want you to know the way that we're rolling here, that is okay. In fact, every year, we have a good chunk of our people who interview or maybe haven't had a chance to interview yet. And I just want you to know this is your time. We still expect you to make the team. We still expect you to do your part, okay? And I think, I don't have the slides updated, so I'll skip those. But there are about 25 to 30 of you that did not get accepted, okay? And that is okay. And rather than use this as a disappointment, use this as a motivation. And be the next Alejandro Calderon, by the way. Be the next individual that Luke talked about that didn't get in and used a setback for a big comeback, if you will. I want to talk about Leadership Academy. So in your notes, as we start off our initial intro to Leadership Academy, I just want to share a few thoughts of, what's the tempo, what's the culture? What does it mean to be part of this team? And there's a running joke amongst all the sports fans in Florida United. There's all three of us, I believe. And we talk about the standard, because one of the most overused phrases in the NFL is the standard is the standard, right? It's up on locker rooms. And if you're in sports, you played high school sports, a couple of you are laughing, played baseball, football, the standard is the standard. But ready? There's a saying that that culture will eat strategy for lunch. Culture eats strategy for lunch. What does that mean? If the culture is strong in the Coast, if the culture is strong in FC, Florida Caribbean, all the things that we may or not be good at yet, big point is yet, we overcome with strong culture. You guys know, if you're from Florida Coast, there's a whole acronym with the HEAT, H-E-A-T, right? If you are from Florida Caribbean, there are the 4 anchors, and I'm not going to go through both, but you should know, right, that culture is in the DNA of every manager, every rep, every assistant, every soon-to-be individual. And the key thing I can tell you, and this is why I put this as the first slide, Getting into Leadership Academy is not about where you are now. It's where you're going to be. It's about a year from now, as Mr. Andrew Evans started our great conference with. Okay? It's about, I think, the fourth person, I am now to say this, the power of just 1 year. And I want to share a quick story. When I first moved to Miami, believe it or not, I hated it. 2009 to 10, I moved my whole life, sold my house, left all my friends and family to take over Florida Caribbean. And I absolutely hated living in Florida. I hated Miami. I hated the people. I thought they were all rude. I didn't like being here, and I missed my family. What a pity, right? Business wasn't good. My office went from being one of the top in the company to I had to rebuild, and it was so hard, and yada, yada, yada. And I'll never forget, this is an actual picture from my iPhone, 2010 iPhone. And I remember sitting in my condo, crying, literally crying, eating Chinese food. How sad is that? Think about that. Crying and eating Chinese food. Isn't that a sad ass movie? It's like, right? Should have been ice cream. Would have been even better if it was just a tub of ice cream. And I remember sitting there going, God, what is going on? I'm a man of faith, so I started praying. I said, what is going on? And of course, fortune cookie tell many for future. So I opened up this Chinese fortune cookie. And of course, whether you believe in the universe or, the existence of what do you call it? Manifesting things into your world, or if you believe in God like I do, ready? Of course, this is the fortune. It said adversity willingly under God is the greatest virtue. What does that mean? Do hard stuff. And I remember I crumpled up that fortune cookie. I did one of those, little 5-year-old dries their tears when mom brings a cookie. I went, right? Those little kids. And I got it together. And I'll never forget how I came out of that. And TLA is not meant to be easy. It's meant to challenge you. So I applaud all of you for choosing the hard road and being here. When I think of what it takes to be successful in Leadership Academy, here's a crowd favorite. Did you know that speaker from Summer Conference 2, John Vroman, is also a TED Talk inductee, if you will, or a TED Talk alumni? You should look him up. Good friend, Cutco alumni, and of course, our keynote speaker from SC2. And I remember meeting with him because his business right now is Front Row Dads. His whole business, his whole brand is about being an unbelievable father. I think that already tells you the type of man this guy is. And I asked him, hey, what does it take to be successful as a dad? And I showed the slide for the last 7 years, or 10 years rather, since he's told me this advice, because it's the same thing that I think will cause you to be successful here. Be flexible and be engaged. Be flexible and be engaged. Okay? There is no perfect route. Be flexible. Be flexible with the challenges. Be flexible with school. I think Luke's entire message should be watched 2 or 3 times over before you start school, and then the first week of school, and then after the first 2 weeks, when you start thinking the things he told you you'd start thinking. For those of you that are in Leadership Academy, round 2, round 3, the EDGE plan. If you're a first year, you're wondering, what's the EDGE plan? Well, it's the intentional plan that some of our managers put together so that between now and October, they get ahead of everyone else. They say it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But if you've already started off with a bang, the finish is already said and done. And so the EDGE plan means, how can you get off to a big start here the next first couple of weeks? TLA is about building your own opportunity. What I love about TLA is that for many of us, and I say us because I'm included, our opportunities may not have been as plentiful as they are here. Yes, I went to college, and yes, I had a great family, but I don't know that I would have the same business opportunities if it weren't for the Cutco knife job that I got recommended to. And one of the things I can tell you about the culture of Florida Coast and culture of Florida Caribbean, and I'll just call it for the sake of this opening comments, the culture of Florida's United, right? Get it? Florida's United Caribbean Coast, is that we create our own opportunity. We don't wait for it. Okay. Any light bulbs there? Give me a physical light bulb if you got any light bulbs. Okay. Feel free to share, post on chats, and create your own light bulbs. As the great literary work says, I took the path less traveled, and that has made all the difference. It's not about doing what everyone else does. And I can tell you the 5-star graduate opportunity is about having things on your resume. It's about having done things through college. It's about the experience that no one else is accustomed to. It's about doing things that cause conversations in your med school interviews and law school interviews to be very unique because you sold kitchen cutlery and advanced through 4 years of management through the kitchen cutlery company and have $75,000 saved and you're debt free. That's the uniqueness of what we have. And so if you've ever gotten a chance, and if you really want to see a great message, rest in peace, Steve Jobs, go to YouTube, look up Steve Jobs, look up commencement speech. Look up Steve Jobs, look up commencement speech. And I believe it's Stanford. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I apologize if I'm wrong. But if his commencement speech to one of the classes at Stanford University, and he more or less says, don't try to figure out everything now, because a lot of times, most of the time, how TLA affects you will be connected later. Okay? How TLA affects you will be connected later. It wasn't so great when I was crying, stuffing my face with Chinese food in Miami in 2010. But I look back, if I didn't move to Florida, I don't know that I'd have the same Cutco opportunity. I don't know that I'd have the same where I live opportunity. And I certainly wouldn't have the same future, because I wouldn't have met my amazing wife if I didn't move to Florida. I wouldn't have it any other way, but I didn't connect the dots till later. So if you're sitting here thinking, well, next year, I don't know if I could be a branch. Hey, guess what? We don't think you could be a branch. Not yet. Not on August 13th. Not on your first meeting for TLA. It's not about now. It's about later. Connect the dots later. Maybe that's a light bulb for some of you there. You know, Mike talks about this often with that Tampa team. I hear him say this at his alliances. I see multiple videos where Mike teaches his team to act as if. Act as if. Act as if you're already confident. Act as if you already get recommendations. Act as if. If you want to be great, level up. If you want to be a great TLA member first year, act, surround yourself, and be like the assistants and branches. If you want to be a big branch candidate, act and think like the district managers. If you want to be a great district manager, I get, you know, David Vargas and Luke Masik are two senior districts that reach out all the time, and they say, well, I'm just curious, what do you think as a division manager? Oh, how does a division manager see that? So start thinking levels up. Maybe that's a light bulb for some of you there. Oh, and the next level group, I'm proud to announce this is our second year that we're going to do this, where we have a next level group. Next level group is one of two scenarios. Number one, you have gone through TLA before, so this is year 2, year 3, year 4 or more. Okay. Or we are going to open up next level group to first years. So if you are a first year and you're excited to run an office next summer, like that is your commitment, you're not waiting to see how the process goes, which is okay, by the way, but you're down to get down, as I say on the first prep in September. If you're down to get down, if you know, Jeff, you know, I want to run a branch and I'm going to work and try. And if I don't make branch, it's because you're going to cut me, not because I didn't try. And you have to have a letter of intent in, which I'll wrap up with here in a second. If you are those two situations, I want a high level management position, I'm submitting my letter in, which I'll talk about, then you can attend next level group starting at the first prep. It's a 2-hour session before every monthly prep. It's designed not just for the Great Leadership Academy lessons. It's designed to teach you how to run a high-powered, nationally ranked Cutco organization, how to run a business from scratch with our type of business model. So next level group. And those of you that are on the Zoom, I see a couple of you that have been through TLA. I see assistant managers. I see district. I see Rob Rodriguez, who has been an assistant branch and now a district manager. I see a lot of you here. Try to go through this with a completely new set of eyes, right? New set of eyes. And this is actually the quote that's at the bottom of my email. It's about perspective. You know what I love about training at the highest level is you get to learn how to become a teacher. TLA is teaching you to be a teacher. Right? And all the great leaders in our business are great teachers. Being part of TLA and being part of next level group is about getting your hands dirty. So if someone asks me, how do I get really good at selling Cutco? I say, do more demos. How do I get really good at public speaking? Speak more times. How do I get really good at running a recruiting interview for Cutco? Run more interviews. Get down and dirty. Get into the mix. Boots on the ground. Maybe that's a light bulb for some of you. So allow me the opportunity, and gosh, this is one of those things when I think about my wife. If you know Heidi, she's just so playful and just unbelievable. And every night she makes me laugh because for some odd reason, she loves movie trailers. Not the movie, right? Not the ending. In fact, she always asks me, hey, what happens? And she won't stop asking until I tell her, which is very strange. But hey, I love her. She loves the trailer. She loves the teaser trailers. So we'll go through when we're watching TV, we do like 30, 45 minutes a night of just fun, mindless TV sometimes. And she'll go through and she'll hit all the trailers. We won't watch the movie. And it just gives you this exciting tease. And you know what? After a week of doing it, we pick one of the movies and we watch it on the weekend. Isn't that funny? And which one's getting us most excited? So allow this to be the in honor of my wife teaser of all the great lessons. Now, you could probably repeat the video that Andrew and I put together. Time, money, energy, others, and yourself. Yes, well, let's go deeper. We're going to teach you how to increase results, right? Not just from a CPO standpoint, but how do smart business people increase results? How do you, as a tactician, as a strategist, as a business person, as a human, how do you increase from results in your medical studies, your results in your Cutco sales, your results in your financial planning, your results in how your relationships are going? How do you strategically track results? We're going to show you how to be a numbers person. Raise your hand if you've ever said this or you believe this, right? And this is not to call you up, but raise your hand if you've ever said, I'm just not a numbers person. Or raise your hand if, no one ever taught me about money. That's great, ready? But not an excuse. And in Leadership Academy, we lose that excuse. Well, my mom's an artist and my dad is in blank, so they don't really know money. Great. Great. You will know money. You will know stats. You will know how to use an Excel spreadsheet. You will know how to calculate. You will know how to use, in this case, Vector Live or Vector Connect, which are two tools to analyze your business. Okay? A great part of what we do to teach you is just shadowing. See what I did there? What we get a chance for you to do is really follow along with your managers. And what's so great about pandemic, everybody, is that it's so easy to shadow because you just hop on the computer. You don't have to travel to the office. You can say, hey, Mike, you're running an interview? Okay, cool. Well, it's optional. And I want to get ahead of everyone for the edge period. So do you mind if I watch the interview? Do you mind if I come to your staff meeting on Monday? Because I hear that all the people that really want to get down and want to get ahead, they come as a special guest to the staff meeting. Shadowing is a huge part. Okay, be a part of that. Working on yourself. One of the things I can tell you with full certainty is that you will become a better person, not just through TLA, but literally from the first month. Literally from the first month. I promise you, it is now August 13th. I'm going to just round up to September. Okay, let's just say it's September. When we get to October 1st, if you follow what we teach you, if you're on the weekly preps, and you do TLA the right way, you will be a completely different person. Why? We're going to be diving into book club. We're going to be debriefing some key books. And I want to share, it was funny. I was talking to Eddie de las Cuevas right before the conference started. And he said, Jeff, check it out. Most college students or just out of college students do that. Like, oh, check it out. I bought this. They might show their watch. Or check it out. They show their new concert tickets. Or check it out. He did? He said, check it out. And he showed me the 2 new books he's reading. I said, hashtag TLA train right there. And it's so funny because next to me, I have some of the staples, the books that when I think of the basic backbone, the meat and potatoes, the protein of the dish, if you will, I think of Managing Oneself, Peter Drucker. I think of, right, the 4 Agreements, The Power of Words. I think of the 5 love languages, so you know how to, you're self-aware and know how to treat people. I think about 1 Minute Manager and 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And if you talk to anyone who's a district or branch or CSP, they'll say, oh yeah, I've read that multiple times. And we have bookshelves and bookshelves of knowledge. I'm so excited to dive in and really put you in a position. And these are some other oldies but goodies, like Entrepreneurial Roller Coaster. If you're a returning TLA member, I highly encourage that one. Okay, no, on these slides will go out. How to Be CEO, and several books that I've already mentioned. It's ironically enough, in my business career and in my faith career, one name that came up today from Michael during his message was Matthew Kelly. And Matthew Kelly is also a former speaker, keynote speaker, one of our Cutco national events. And the power of journaling. We're going to show you how to journal, not in a lovey-dovey kind of weirdo way. Because in fact, I think that some people, that's including me, that's how I used to see journaling, like Dear Diary. And I think you have a little taste from Mike that the smartest, most effective leaders in the world get thoughts down in the morning. And we're going to show you how to effectively journal. We're going to teach you about money. Money does not make the world go around, for sure, but it does pay your bills. Right? Money is not the most important thing in the world, but you do need it in most cases to do the things you want to do with gusto, with passion, and with zeal. And ready? If you want to contribute to society, having more money can help you contribute more and donate and things of that nature. So I'm so excited that we're partnering up and we have a business partnership with Miss Rachel Richards. Miss Rachel Richards is the best-selling author, New York Times bestseller, and really acclaimed speaker of the book Money Honey. And her program is called Get Your Financial Shit Together, Cutco Edition. And she has formulated and partnered up with Vector Marketing to create a Cutco specific course for people to learn things like budgeting and buckets of investments. She's partnering with Andrew Evans and myself to teach you how to invest at a young age. She's teaching you how to increase and protect credit score. She's teaching you how to buy a home before 25. And you'll see that she is independently now able to retire from her job as a financial advisor. And she's now living off of her investments, her diversified portfolio, all under the age of 30. And she's going to teach you how to do it. Oh, and by the way, might I mention, she's also a millennial like you guys. So she's going to speak your language along with the language of Andrew and myself and Mike, our most seniors, to teach you about money. Give me a thumbs up if that fires you up, some of those topics. Like I'm so excited. She's going to have assignments. She's going to let you join her community with Facebook. It's going to be awesome. Planning. I would do it at injustice after Mike's message, but we're going to continue to elevate and do the 2.0, 3.0 version of Mike's message. Is anyone interested in health and fitness, creating more energy? And, you know, Luke said it best. When I went from wanting to look good to feel better, things changed. Yeah. And I think also looking good can give you confidence. I think more energy is always going to be the best. We'll talk about macronutrients, fitness. We're going to talk about fashion and how to dress in a business setting. Although I do think, ladies, some of those sundresses and outfits, I guess, are cute when you go out socially, probably won't be as acceptable in an interview or running an office. And gentlemen, what you think might look cool when you wear ankle socks, your athletic ankle socks with your dress shoes, because that's what you got, would actually turn you away from getting a job on an interview. Like things like that you might not realize, we're going to show you. I know some of you are cringing at that thought. At the end of the day, it's the best version of yourself. And the slide that I think is the fan favorite, and you ask anyone that did Cutco through college, what was the top of the top lessons? It's who you're hanging out with. It's who you're taking advice from. And we're so excited to set that up. We're so excited to impact your habits. So take 30 seconds. What I'd like you to do is write down the top 3 to 4 lessons that I covered that just get you so fired up. What of all the things I just covered are getting you just, gosh, this TLA is getting juicy. I'm getting pumped. Take a few moments, and I encourage you to share that at your next local meeting, your next debrief, or as you guys get together to celebrate TLA acceptances, I encourage you to share that. Okay. Managers, you want to be on deck for some screenshots here. I will also send this out, but if you want to have it live time, be ready to screenshot. We have some dates here. First of all, CPO will continue to talk, my friends. And Luke said it best. We don't want someone who's one-dimensional. If you sell a lot and your grades go to hell, you're not a good TLA member. In fact, you'll get put on probation. If your grades are great, but you don't sell, same thing. It's about balancing plates, or as Luke said, spinning plates, like that example he gave earlier. So ready? What better way to move your score and your radar? What better way to increase your income and confidence and move your rankings up than a push week? And strategically throughout the fall, there are 2. The first one is the SLC push. So screenshot managers, you can send it out on September 17th to October 5th. I'm giving you time to prepare. We talk about momentum. Our SLC push is a national push. It's the only push where you physically don't go to the conference or you don't join the conference, but you represent your team with all the managers across Vector Marketing nationwide. We're counting on you. And as Florida Coast and Florida Caribbean, we're looking to take home some top championship trophies and represent our teams. So September 17th to October 5th. And then our biggest push of the fall is our Oleum push, formerly known as the Oleum push, which will now be turning into the, we can put the date first, August 29th to November 14th. In previous non-pandemic, we would all go to Oleum, New York and visit the factory. We're going to have our version of that virtually in honor of, with respect to keeping things safe. But we're going to have our Fall Classic. Our Fall Classic will replace the Olean trip. And the Fall Classic will be a chance for you, not as Florida Coast and Florida Caribbean to come together, but the entire East Coast TLA team will come together. So there'll be almost 1,100 people from TLAs up and down the East Coast, our entire division manager team, and of course, our region manager, Mr. Scott Dennis, and some special guest appearances from the executive team in Olean, New York. The people that make Cutco possible, the people that make Vector possible, will be joining our conference for the Fall Classic. That'll be November 14th. More details to come, but you want to get this push in. And I want to really, support Scott Dennis here and letting you know that the Eastern region, which is Florida Coast, Florida Caribbean, all up and down the East Coast from Puerto Rico up to Virginia, is currently in first place for the Region Silver Cup. First time in history that the Eastern region has a chance to take it home. So this Olean push is now really the Secure the Cup push, and we're excited. I'm also excited because there are several of you here that are on pace for a cup. I think of the Tampa team and looking to take the #1 district office and district team back to back. I think of the San Juan team, #1 in their respective category. I think of Adriana Rivera in the Rising Star Rep League. I think of branches and districts. I think of divisional races. That's the time to make your move. So before we turn things over to our panel, this is a quick screenshot time for managers and for reps. I want to talk about some calendar events. So let's talk about the weekly sessions. So these are the TLA weekly sessions. Mike put this on his calendar from his message, but this will go out. Every Wednesday, we'll go 5 to 6 p.m. Our first session will be this coming Wednesday. Okay. So from 5 to 6 p.m. So it's right before the phone jam kickoff that you guys run. So instead of Head Start Phone Jam, you guys will be on TLA. Now, someone asked me, can I still Head Start Phone Jam? Of course. In fact, our best reps, if they need to, they'll Head Start Phone Jam at 4 and then hop on the TLA at 5. Okay, so this and a full syllabus will come out here in the next couple of days. So that's the weekly. And then we have our monthly session. These will be Saturdays, okay, but every 3 weeks or so. And the next level group, again, for returning TLA and people who are serious about running a high-powered office, we'll have a morning session with a break, and then we'll have a general session from 12 to 4. And if you want the dates ahead of time, these are the dates for the monthlies. Okay, and they're spaced out. You might notice there are 2 Septembers. It's spaced out about every 3 weeks. So the 5th and 26th of September, 1 in October, one in November, which is our fall classic that I just mentioned. And then the weekend of December 11th and 12th, details to be announced. Okay, so managers, I'm going to go back 3 slides. You can screenshot this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Our monthly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And our monthly dates. Okay. For those of you that have been part of TLA, the matrix. Okay. Someone asked, well, how do you rank people? Is it just CPO? And I said, no, not at all. In fact, there's a whole algorithm, if you will, of how we rank candidates that are going to be qualifying themselves in November to be on pace to run a branch office or to become an assistant manager versus just going through TLA. And so this will go out in a more formal document, and it's a point system. It's a point system. And let me give you a chance to see what these points entail. And this is a great screenshot. So how do you get points in TLA? Well, first of all, startup. How much money has this student saved and invested through the company savings program? They can get a maximum of 5 points. That's why I mentioned on the TLA interview, if you're serious about getting into management, not just going through TLA, you want to get over 1,000 ASAP because it'll get you a point on the matrix. Total career sales will get you points starting at 15 grand. Okay. Management skills will be a grading system based on whatever respective Cutco management skill we teach you. We'll do what's called a role play drill for skill where you'll practice it. And then we'll do what's called a live drill for skill, which means you'll do it for points. You'll do it in front of the manager and they will grade you 1 through 5, and it will go into our spreadsheet. Number 4 is not just personal sales total. Okay. This is making sure that your current fall sales are up to date. So every $1,000 and every $2K in sales you sell during the fall can get you up to 5 points as well. And then that last category, everyone, is intangibles. It's really it's in a subjective way of your manager giving you a grade that's just based on their opinion. Okay. So are you reliable? Are you the person that always has a reason 10 minutes before everything that you're late? Are you the person that's there early? Are you following through? Do you always have to be reminded? Are you the person that always has a meltdown that needs to be talked off the ledge from quitting? Have you wanted to quit more than 4 or 5 times this summer and needed a conversation from your manager, or are you pretty self-reliant? Are you holding things in and not venting and getting proper help, or are you communicating at a high level? These are things that we look at. And of course, I want to reference the startup. Someone asked me, hey, Jeff, I would like to know the levels of savings. And so let me give you a pretty direct answer of our typical branch managers who earn a spot. And what I mean by that is people who are the top 20% of TLA. When we get to the November area, we will separate TLA into 2 sections. The people that will continue TLA, but probably will not play a role as a branch manager, so they'll have to try and earn an assistant spot, or the group that is on track and can run a district or branch office. That'll be around November. And part of what we look at is how much money has that student saved. So if you look, the second column, okay, first is the date. The second column is how much they would have to save for that month extra. And on the far right is how much total in the account to be technically on pace. Now, for you go-getters out there, this is the minimum where we look at someone, but it's certainly not the maximum. I have a spreadsheet of people that have put $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. I think Andrew and I will send out the respective startup updates after this meeting for sake of time. So we'll, on a weekly basis, we're going to send the spreadsheet and say, all right, who's got the most savings, all the way down to who started their account at $100. Okay, so that's a quick screenshot there. And then before I go to our panel, I want to reiterate something Mike said quickly, but also something that Luke said twice. It's called the decision train. You know, when you lead with feeling, take a look at the right car. If the feeling is leading the train, okay, that's pretty dangerous. Think about that for a second. If I feel good, if I feel like studying, action will be study. So my decision is I'm committed. But if I'm having a rough day or I'm tired and I don't feel like studying, the action is let me hop on my Instagram for an hour and waste time. And the decision is I'm not really motivated. Let me just drop that class. Okay. This is relationships. Well, I feel really good. This is the difference of why I have a ring versus not a ring. Okay. When I first started dating Heidi, oh my gosh, I didn't eat. I would go home. I would just think about how we hung out, and we'd talk on the phone for 3 hours. And then my buddy would say, what did you talk on the phone with that girl with? What did you talk on the phone with Heidi on for 3 hours? And I go, I don't know. We just talked. Felt great, right? I was in love. But you know what? There were times, and that's great because then I'll do the nice things. I'll open the door, call the check-in, and do all these little thoughtful things. What's my decision? I'm in love. I'm going to marry her. But what if you don't feel good? What if you have a bad day? What if you just had a rough time and you're not feeling great? You get into a fight and you're not committed. Well, what's the next action? Let me stop opening the door. Let me stop reaching out. Let me stop doing the little things. What's the decision? Yeah, I don't know about this one. That's how a lot of relationships go versus start with the left, start with the train of decision. And by the way, I know at your age, I'm certainly not asking you to put a ring on it. Okay. But I'm telling you, perhaps the analogy is put a ring on it to commit to what you're training towards. Because if I know what this ring, and I don't need a ring, by the way, if you ever hang out with me, I don't need my ring on for you to know I'm married. That's how you know I'm married. You don't need to see my ring to know I'm married. Okay? Actions speak louder. But if I make a decision or I'm committed, well, my actions are always going to line up no matter how much I feel. And I can just tell you there are times I don't feel like it. Mike Abramowitz, you're married. We don't feel like it. But the decision is made. And that will create a better relationship. Is that a light bulb for some of you? Because that's really what the decision train is all about. And that's why I want to transition to letter of intent. Our letter of intent process is very similar to sports commitments. In high school, if you're a five-star, ironically enough, you're a five-star high school athlete, you write a letter of a commitment, which states that you are picking the school that you are going to play for of all the schools that are recruiting you. Literally, when we say five-star graduate, we are talking about this. So a letter of intent is a letter, and this is now the first time we will open letters up for first-year candidates. The only letters we've accepted are from assistants, next level, and returning TLA members. So if you're a first year and you are down to get down, you're not just training to do TLA, you want to be a top candidate and if possible, run a branch. And you might not run a branch, but you are training with the hope and the expectation of doing so. Write a letter of intent. And let me give you a quick screenshot here. Here's how to write a letter of intent. Okay. I highly suggest you keep it one page. Don't worry about some dramatic story in your writing ability. Just state your intent, why you want to be a branch or district in those cases. Show gratitude because you're writing a letter to my boss and Andrew's boss, Mr. Scott Dennis. You're copying us. And then share with Mr. Dennis the action steps. What you're really doing is saying, I am training to be Phil and the manager, and this is why you should consider me when it's time to make a decision. It means I'm off the market. I'm not planning on looking at internships for next summer or somewhere else. I'm not going to work for my dad or mom's company. I'm training so that I am here running an office like the 13 unbelievable students that were running an office this summer as an internship, or the 12 unbelievable district managers here on the Zoom. Here's a great example. I'll send it out. This is Liz Maseko, who won our MVP ball earlier. And this is her letter. And I won't read it, but I'll send it out for you to get a chance to see and get an idea of what that means. And Liz, what a well put together letter. But I want to just share, don't get so caught up in being eloquent. This letter is very eloquent. However, eloquence is not what gets you a spot. It's your actions. This is just merely a statement. Okay.
Oh.
So oh yeah. Someone said something and I'm sure it was good. So real quick, take a few moments, write down a few light bulbs, and I'll wrap up with assignments and turn things over to our panel. Is anyone excited? I am. I said letter of intent and I saw two of you go. Is that code for I'm doing it? Or are you having an epileptic seizure? I'm not sure. Okay. All right. By the way, if you're down to write a letter of intent, go text your manager now. Hey, I'm putting a letter in. Go tell them. Let them know. So assignments to be announced. Andrew and I are going to get together and compare our respective Leadership Academy syllabi, and you will get a communication in the next 3 to 5 days on what's to come. Worst case, by the first weekly prep on Wednesday, which is this Wednesday, you will get a list of assignments. And by the way, these assignments are easy, like submit your school schedule to this link. That takes no time at all. Make sure you're on the email group code. That takes no time at all. Like those are like the extent of the first assignments. Very simple, very easy. And then last but not least, I want to do a big promotion. One of the things I can tell you, I don't care what you want to do. And I learned this from Andrew Evans a long time ago when I started working with him when he was a branch manager. The skills you learn about how to start a Cutco operation are skills that will carry over into anything that you do, especially, not only, but especially if you want to run a business. I think of multiple people here on this Zoom who are TLA trained, Vector trained, Florida United, Coast and Caribbean trained, that have started organizations. I think of Eddie De Las Cuevas in Clearwater and running college truckers in Florida State University. I think of Andrew Evans and his very successful podcast partnered up with Luke Maseko, Ace Weekly. I think of Mike Abramowitz and PBJ for Tampa Bay, or his Grab Tomorrow series and culture, if you will. It's a following, it's a tribe. All of those were businesses or ideas that needed to be launched. And so one of the things we're going to start TLA with is teaching you how to launch a recruiting surge, how to launch a campaign, how to launch your business. And as you know, social media is the way to go. So I just want to prepare you between now and September 6th, which is the first prep. It's the first Saturday of September. I want you to start thinking about how you can help launch your social media D-Day. And what that means is, can you come up with 5 to 10 people that when we distribute the content, and you guys have done this so many times, we give you a Snapchat post, we give you an Instagram picture, we give you what to put up. Can you come up with 5 to 10 people that you can have committed to posting / reposting what we give you? If you notice, there are 126 Zooms. That doesn't include the parties of multiple people together. There's probably in excess of 175 here on this Zoom. So 175 people get an average of 10 other people. That's about 2,000 people that will also post. Okay? That is called going viral. You guys understand that? And watch what happens, and you will learn. And we're going to take notes and debrief, not just, oh, let's post and see what happens. We're going to show you systematically what did we do to set that up. And you'll see in the month of September, Florida Coast and Florida Caribbean will increase in sales, increase in recruiting. It's because of the strategic plan to launch our opening. Okay, so just something to be thinking about. So to wrap up, I want to turn things over to our district manager, Mr. David Vargas in San Juan, having a record-breaking year. He's having his biggest year ever. David Vargas is going to facilitate a Maximizing TLA panel. So what this is these are our nationally ranked branch managers. Okay, and I'll turn things over to him to control the screen. He's going to interview our top 5 branch managers. These are the individuals that didn't just go through TLA. They outranked everybody. They outmatrixed the whole team. And not only did they earn branch opportunities, they outperformed the rest of the country. These 5 young men and women will rank all in the top, not top 20, all in the top 15, possibly all top 10 in all of vector marketing for the summer of 2020. So no better person to lead this than Mr. David Vargas, who is a cut crew through college standout and is now one of the top district managers in the country. So Mr. David Vargas, I'm going to turn things over to you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your preparation. How about some claps some snaps, and gangster daps for Guapito, David Vargas. All right, David, you're up. Do you want slide control or do you want me to do it?
No, I think it's easier if I just get slide control. Quick question though. Could I get co-hosts? That way I can share screen.
Yeah, I got you real quick. You've got the power, sir.
Thank you. Perfect. So I am going to bring up our speaking panel real quick. Give me 1 second just to make sure there we go. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
You're good.
Awesome. Okay, so I got to bring out these amazing next people that they're basically going to tell you how to maximize your TLA opportunity with us. And there's truly no better people to bring this next topic up and just ask them a couple of questions, get their thoughts on what really maximize and how to get the best out of the opportunity you have with us. Because you already heard a lot of talks on how to manage your time. You already got a lot of talks on basically how to do presentations, how to stand up in front of people, how to give a powerful topic and teaching moments. But these people are going to tell you exactly what you need to know and how to get the best out of the opportunity, how to get the best out of, the TLA opportunity. So just, I want to give like a quick brief, intro to each one of them. They're all nationally ranked managers. We have Alejandra Carrasco from the Humacao office here in the island, #1 and #2 in the entire company with over 364K for the summer. We got Marley, #5 from Naples, Florida, Caribbean, 258. Mason Lincoln, St. Petersburg. Cristina Fernandez, 244, #7. Both of them second-time branches, so doing this for a second time. And then we have Jonathan Castell, new time branch, but also #10, representing the entire division, the entire island. Just to give you a quick brief intro on each of them, we have Mason. Mason is the Florida State University student. He studies international affairs. He's at 275K for the summer so far. We have Alejandra Carrasco from Fordham University, English, theology, and a minor in marketing at 385 for the entire summer with this week coming in. We have Marley Lewis, okay? Marley, Northeastern University. Lewin. Sorry, Marley. Lewin, okay? Northeast University in Boston, marine biology major. Okay, we have Cristina Fernandez, okay, in UPR Maya West for marketing, and Jonathan Castell, Advent Health University in biomedical. So what's really amazing about every one of these is that they each have their own majors, they each have their own stories to tell, and they're all doing it for their own reasons, their different reasons. There's some things that they want to learn and talk about and just win from doing the Cutco Through College plan. So my first question actually to these 5 managers is, how does being a branch manager, how does TLA tie into your Cutco Through College plan? How are you basically using Vector and Cutco as a vehicle to reach what you want to do? Okay, and I actually want to start with Jonathan. Jonathan, if you're there, you can unmute yourself real quick.
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome, Jonathan. So how does, being a branch, and how does that tie into your Cutco Through College plan and into the biomedical field?
Yeah, of course. So my my long-term goal is to, I'm studying cardiology right now. I'd love to open up my own practices across Miami, and I'm using the skills that I gain here to, first of all, learn how to run a business. I think that's why branch is just so attractive for me. Learning how to run a business, manage individuals, manage a staff, grow and lead, and then also to build financial financial capabilities to one day, run and grow that organization as well too. So that's just the biggest thing, why I'm going through a TLA and why it's valuable for me.
Okay, awesome. Let's give some energy to Jonathan, by the way. Some energy to Jonathan. Everybody give some energy to Jonathan. Jonathan, give him some energy. Okay. I don't know how to do the claps, dance for daps. So complicated to me. Next one up, okay, Cristina Fernandez, okay, 2-time branch. She took basically her first branch, basically only sold 110K, 115K her first branch, and now she took that and transformed it to a 235K branch, and basically had the biggest summer that Ponce has ever had in its time opened. So Cristina Fernandez, if you want to talk about how Cutco Through College tie into what you're doing. and marketing?
Yeah, so definitely, I'm currently studying business because what I want to do after I graduate is work in my family business. My dad owns dealerships, and I'm actually going to be the third in line. So that's like exciting legacy I'm building there. But I don't only want to just like go in a dealership because I'm a family member. I want to earn my spot and not only do it at a high level, but beat basically what my past family members did. And also it's very important for me, female leadership. So branching for me is a good platform for me to just start branding myself as female leadership and just starting to build that platform for young female leaders in Puerto Rico. So that's what Cutco Through College does for me.
Okay, awesome. Female leadership right there. That's the amazing thing. You have, it's basically perfectly divided, 2 guys, 2 girls. So I love that. Actually 3 girls, 2 guys. Okay, so girls are killing it right there. So Marley, okay, you're up next. How does that, how does Cutco Through College tie into being a marine biology? Because, a lot of STEM majors say like, oh, when am I ever going to use those skills, those abilities? So Marley, you're up.
Yeah, 100%.
Hey, real quick, David, if you could stop your share screen when she's speaking, that way you can see her face. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, so above all, I think it's funny, XY, no correlation between marine biology and business. But I eventually want to run my own rescue research and rehabilitation center. You'll see that common theme for those of you who just don't want to work for other people. The skills that you get here, being a branch, having a team that I get to manage and coach and mentor has been absolutely phenomenal in helping me with that aspect of having to eventually run my own team, just like Jonathan and just like Christina want to do as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Marley. Then we have Mason, Florida State University International Affairs. Okay, so Mason, how does that tie into your Cutco Through College plan? If somebody can spotlight Mason real quick.
Yeah, so, basically the reason why I'm doing this is just getting awesome experience, income through college. And I'm honestly not too sure what I want to do later on. I just know that I want to be my own boss. I want to be able to make my own schedule, and I want to be able to have a positive impact on other people. And it's pretty cool that I already get to do something like that now while I'm through college. And I just want to use it as a stepping stone to set myself up for those future opportunities.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Mason, so much. And last but definitely not least, our number 2 branch in the company and number 1 in the region, Alejandra Carrasco, is you're there. If you can spotlight your video real quick. There we go. How does Cutco Through College tie into being an English and theology major?
So, I went into college thinking, by the way, sorry to everyone for my voice. I was thinking I was going to open my own publishing company. That's what I really wanted to do. Later realized that I like sales and marketing a lot more. So I really want to become a real estate agent and then later on have my own firm. So ideally, I sell houses, but I also manage a team of other people that sell houses for my company. So I think branch is a really good stepping stone into that. And you've definitely gained a lot of management skills. And just kind of echoing what Christina said, I really wanted to show more visibility to women in leadership, especially in Vector, and kind of like empower other girls to, do Cutco Through College and pursue TLA and pursue their professional goals and whatnot. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for giving that small intro and just sharing your story and sharing why you're doing this. As you can see, there's majors from all around the world. There's different schools, different reasons why they're doing it. Now I have an extra 3 questions, okay? And some of them I want only Alejandra and Christina to answer. Some I only want, Mason, Marley, and Jonathan to answer just to, save some time. And the first question I have, and this is more for Christina and Alejandra, it's what do you love most about being a BM, or, a branch manager? And the reason I think it's awesome that we have these 2 share their experiences is that, we have a first-time branch manager that's killing it, number 2 in the company. But at the same time, we had Christina that, national number 6 or 7 in the company, I can't remember right now. But she took what she did her first year and basically doubled it. Okay. And that's the power of 1 year to the next. That's the power of just taking what you learned that first year and making all those mistakes and just blowing it up. Okay, so I think that will give you guys some great perspectives on both sides. So Alejandra, if you want to go first, being the first time branch.
Yeah, sure. I think what I most love about being a branch manager is that it basically forces you to become the best version of yourself. In order to be a really, a nationally ranked branch, or just do really well at branch, especially if you're like me, if you're like Christina, you're really competitive. You really have to be the best version of yourself. You really have to work on yourself and show up the right way for your people, for your team, and it really teaches you just empathy overall, and just like more empathy for yourself and for others, and it just empowers you to kind of like just step into what the version that you can be if you did the right things and made the right habits. Branch really forces you into that.
So I don't know if you guys heard that, habits, the power of habits. I think we mentioned it so many times during the conference already. Just the power of creating those right habits will really set you apart, not only in TLA, but truly in your branch. Okay. And now, Christina, I want you to give more of a second year to branch. So why did you do it not only once? Why did you go through that hardship 2 times?
Yeah, so definitely, I was actually talking to my dad a few days ago about this specific thing that I love about branching and I love about Vector, is that unlike other companies, they actually give you an opportunity to learn and be mentored and be helped by those people that are actually even competing with you, which is insane. So what I love about branching not only once but twice was that ability I had of just assessing what I did good, what I did wrong the first summer, and take that and adjust it and have a whole year to just prepare and take it to the next level. So I just love that servant leadership opportunity we get from our managers, from our division. And just there's no place to branch like United. There's just no other place to branch than United. So that's something that you just simply don't find in other companies, the ability of them to teach you and want to help you grow. And these are skills that I'm going to be able to apply to grow my business every single year when I'm out of Cutco in the dealerships, 1 year to the next, and that same ability to just readjust. So
Yeah, I want to chime in real quick. I think this is an important one. The servant leadership part, that is just our company. Like I want to take all the credit, and I think Andrew and I want to take all the credit, but that would be funny because our company was built when I was an idiot college student. And ready? I was an idiot college student. Okay, smart, but I mean, it's poor choices. Okay, I had a mentor named Gordon Andringa, Crady Seymour, and Fred Glazier, who were my TLA mentors, 2 district managers and a division manager, who kind of steered me along the way, who asked me, hey, what did you learn from being an assistant? So to Christina's credit. The other part that I don't want you to miss, and this is directly from Andrew Evans' mouth when he was 21, talking to a bunch of people older than him at a region conference. He said, do you really think that just running a branch office is what's going to get you a job as a 5-star? Not really. It's when you can go to an interview and say, I opened my own business. I did not do well, or I did well. I willingly signed up for the same thing again, but I got better. Okay. There's a professional term. I used it on 3 TLA interviews. It's called tenure. Tenure. Okay. And you don't know this yet as much until you interview, but take it from the 42-year-old. Tenure is rare because this is the millennial generation that typically will hop to job, whatever, hop. Oh, it's hard, I quit. Or I like to try different things, or I'm getting bored quick. Tenure will get you a career or a big time job or a bigger opportunity because they see, oh, you stuck with the same thing. Oh, and you kept going. Oh, you were not good as a branch manager, or Christina Fernandez, you were how much? And then you increased by how much? Or Andrew Evans, but the Mr. Championship Andrew Evans was 130K in sales, which this pandemic would have been okay, like okay, to 200, 300 plus to breaking the record. So in the succession of 3 years, you got better. That's 5-star graduate, everyone. That's and that's one of many examples of doing Cutco through college. It doesn't have to be branch 2-3 years in a row. It just has to be tenure, the same thing.
Yeah.
That's going to help you get here. Okay. I don't want, like we have district managers that want to come to run an office in Florida, Caribbean, and Florida coast all the time. I said, I don't want someone who's trying to hop to the hot team. I want the person who can go to any team and make that the hot team. Right. That's why Andrew's a division manager. That's why I'm a division manager. I want to go where no one wants to go. Like no one wanted to come to South Florida. No one wanted to take over the coast. And I mean, it's awesome. So really, really short point. I don't want to take too much time. Go ahead, David. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome words, Jeff. So by the way, so next
Thanks,
question. You're just amazing.
Great job,
Why-
guys.
Okay.
Great job.
So next question. This is more for Mason, Marley, and Jonathan. Okay, basically, you know, I also, again, wanted to give you someone from the perspective like Mason that's been through TLA multiple times. And now that, you know, Marley, Jonathan, basically going to do it for the second time, just in a different position, a different perspective, they can truly chime in on what's it going to be like and what you can expect. And I'm actually going to go with Jonathan first. Jonathan, if I can unmute you real quick, I just want to share a bit of what you love most about TLA. What do you love most about TLA? Like what?
Yeah, of course. Okay, cool, perfect. What I love most about TLA just has to be like just the personal growth. For me, this was huge. I think I've said it a lot or at least the people in Miami have heard me say this a lot. I mean, when I started, I really didn't care about the personal growth aspect. Didn't really care too much about the people, but it was after really just, you know, looking back on how much I had learned and grown as an individual, I really start to appreciate it and start to dive in once I got accepted into TLA and getting exposed to like reading a lot of books that help you in any aspect of life, authors like Dale Carnegie, listening to like Tony Robbins, 1 Minute Manager, I think, and the other money book, I forgot, Money Honey or Honey Money, I forgot the name of it. But like books like those and being able to like be exposed to those different types of things, I say it a lot, that the money is awesome, but really it's just kind of the personal growth that's going to take you throughout life. And I think that's the most valuable aspect and what I personally like the most.
Okay,
That's
awesome.
it,
Yeah, you're good. So Marley, what about you? What are you most excited about going into TLA for the second time? What are you most excited about? You know, what do you like most about TLA?
Yeah, so this is actually my third time going through TLA, so it's even better. I'm super excited. I think the one thing that I enjoyed every year is just being able to continue the habits that you create throughout the summer. Because, you know, you can do everything, you can be really successful, but if you don't continue what you're doing in the same kind of habits that you created during the fall and the spring, it's like, what's the point of even doing it over the summer? So I think the best thing I really liked is the accountability, right? Being able to continue having those habits and having those people in that circle just through the fall and the spring. And so this is not just a summer thing, but this is now kind of your way of life. And TLA is a way of life. And that's what I really love the most about it, is that opportunity.
Awesome. And last but not least, Mason. Okay, last but not least, Mason, what are you most excited about for TLA?
Well, first of all, just like Jonathan said, the personal and professional growth. You know, originally my parents were, my first year, my parents were very against me picking up another thing around school. They thought I wouldn't do well, but it ended up being the exact opposite. You know, when I had more on my plate, I was able to do better in school and do better in everything that I was working on. So that was my experience the first round, but then going into it this year, I'm just really excited to not just do TLA by myself, but, you know, have the opportunity to do TLA with my TLA candidates that were accepted TLA today, you know, grow with them, personally develop and professionally develop with them throughout the fall and the spring.
Okay, awesome. And that's truly the power of 1 year, and that's how you truly develop to a higher level, not just being there with your team. It's like where you take other people with you for the ride. Okay, because again, you know, at the end of it, we just want Cutco and Vector to be the vehicles to get people to where we know they can be a lot of times as managers. So I think that's really awesome. That's really exciting, Mason, for you to be able to share and go through that experience with not just by yourself, but with your TLA members as well, with your twigs, if you know the term. And now, you know, the last question I have for you guys all is basically, if you have any advice, if you were to give 1 or 2 quick tips on how to maximize TLA, how to maximize the fall, how to get the best out of the opportunity, because this is something I share with my team constantly. It's like, it doesn't matter if you just go through the motions of TLA. You're not really going to learn something just by saying, oh, I went through TLA. That doesn't really matter much. So what do you think are like the keys, focus, or key things you need to do, or any advice or tips you have for our new members? And I want to start off with, you know, Jonathan, again, just to go down from the list. So Jonathan, if you can mute yourself.
Yes, sir. Biggest tip, and this is probably something that, I mean, we've said this all day today, but something that I really just took advantage of was just like fall selling, sell through the fall. Lemon. I mean, especially if you're, like just training at a high level and training to be a branch, one mentality, I don't know who told me, is either Mr. Evans or Mr. Gamboa, is just that, you never want to be an assistant manager or branch manager and have like your reps outsell you that summer. Like you don't want to be that guy. So it's like, hey, take the fall to really just get to that higher level. Not only that, commission's baller, the money is there, and just the experience and the skills. Like you if you learn how to sell at a higher level, you're going to be able to teach at a higher level, and that just makes you a more valuable TLA candidate. So sell a lot of Cutco.
Baller.
Awesome. Just sell a lot of Cutco. Okay, at the end of it, make more demo, make more calls, do more demos. Okay, guys. So next we have Christina Fernandez. If you can give them some quick tips on how to maximize their TLA opportunity.
Yeah, so this may seem like very simple, but it's so important to just plan out your semester beforehand. Like once you get that syllabus at the first week, put it all out up until December, and take into account your TLA time and put it in like if it were a class. That way it's already in the schedule, like implementing what Mike and Luke was talking about, but putting TLA like if it were an actual class and dedicated the same amount you would to an actual class. So just planning this semester ahead of time would be like my major tip.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Christina. We talked about it basically the entire meeting. Plan ahead, plan ahead, plan ahead. It doesn't really matter, just shooting empty bullets or just random bullets in the air. You really need to be accurate as well. So next up, last but not least, Marley. We have Marley up next. Go, Marley. What do you love more, or any advice you have for these TLA new candidates, new members?
Yeah, 100%. My biggest tip, and it's funny because Luke and I were talking about this before, you have people who will do TLA and do TLA, and then you have people who will do TLA, right? My first year, I'll be real honest with you, I didn't do TLA. Don't be like me, okay? We give you such awesome content, okay? We give you amazing things that people would wish they could pay to have, coaching and mentoring and life skills. When you're going to go through it, if you're going to be there, be present. If you're going to get an assignment, do the assignment, communicate with your manager, because the content that we're exposed to here is just unmatched in any other company. And it's something that you really need to take advantage of, or you're going to end up regretting it.
Well said.
Awesome. Definitely. Okay. You can't just be present. You have to be, active in your role as a TLA member. Okay. Your actions speak louder than words. Don't tell me what you're going to do. Show it to me. And then last but not least, Alejandra, take it away.
Yeah, I feel like honestly, they've covered most of it. I think what I would add is just don't wait too long to take it seriously and to take yourself seriously. I think I agree with Marley. Like my first time going through TLA was just kind of like going through the motions. Like, okay, this is something I have to do, instead of something you get to do. And TLA is really something that you get to do, because what other company, what other college student is doing this, is, getting these lessons and this mentorship at this level. So just taking it seriously. And I think something that Jeff talks about a lot actually is you have a lot of time to or I don't know how specifically you say it, but we have a lot of time to be young. You have a lot of time to be immature and do stupid stuff and do normal college things. But the sooner you start taking yourself seriously in your growth and your professional success, the better off you will be in the long run. So that's my biggest tip.
Awesome. Thank you so much for all the branches that, took their time out of their day to just give you guys some extra effort. Let's do, snaps, claps, and gangster daps. I think that's how it is. It's too much rhythm.
Gangster daps.
I don't have rhythm. I can't do it.
David, we're gonna come up with the Spanish version for you. Don't worry.
It's too much rhythm. I'm Spanish, Puerto Rican. I was not born to dance or rhythm. I have 2 left legs. So awesome, Jeb. I'm gonna pass it over to you.
Yeah, you got it. Hey, first of all, thank you, David, for facilitating. How about we give him some snaps and claps and daps from the hood. And daps from the hood. All right. Hey, everyone. Thanks for going a little bit over here. I want to say thanks for your time, branches and districts, PSM. Well, what an awesome collective group of young people. And I hope you are proud of your accomplishment if you got in officially. And I hope you're proud of getting to this point and put yourself in a position to earn elite acceptance. So have an outstanding Thursday. Thanks for your dedication. Thanks for being part of our team. And that, my friends, concludes our Conference for Champions. See ya!
Congratulations, ladies and gents. We'll see you later.
Fort Lauderdale, stay on for 30 seconds. We need to discuss our get-together.
Welcome, DJ, Hefechino.
Oh,